Good afternoon from the Hostage Diaries. Today I'm going to do a little, this is the April Fool's edition because I am, as the biggest loser, I'm also the biggest fool. Loofah. I even got a terry cloth loofah with my gift card for Christmas. But, as we always know, worst case scenario omega, always. Permanent marks, hate yourself. Tortured until kill self. The perfect murder by suicide. So yeah, Terry was my cousin when I got the severe head trauma on Harold's Ferry Road after those girls chased me, which set a permanent mark, and my entire life was ruined. So I gambled and got a terry cloth loofah. So happy April Fool's Day. Omega boy. Funny joke. Chopped off the A. Very, very strange. My bits of code. It is. It's like dissecting the code of life. Because they plugged me into whereas it's the total opposite of what everything is. Whereas I should have armor plating. I should have the greatest immunity system. Instead, I am spread eagle vulnerable. Every infection is deadly, like Bubble Boy immunity, because my immunity system is distributed to these ranks. So, I matter least. I always lose. Hate myself. That's what it's all about. This is man-made creation system, creator depression. Because other people have stolen my body. Revenge. Trophy kill, whatever. These crazy, and the problem is, if you look at what's happened to the system, there are certain factions that are the big winners. But the individuals cannot even perceive of the damages that are done. Yet, they are losing, they're giving away so much, and they will never be able to, unless there's a major correction that is necessary, vital, or the world will drown and implode with melting pot anarchy, which it's great for the USA, but it is not necessarily good for other parts of the world. But since the USA has such power built or invested into this House of Cards dollar, then it must be. It's like kill the competition. They don't want other types of ideology. There are no other types of ideology. That's why literacy is literally illegal these days. You cannot speak the truth of what's going on. They're hiding the scams because literacy is illegal. Because literacy is an infection to many. Literacy, math, and science is an infection disease. In healthcare, the health plan. When a doctor says you're in perfect health, that's one of the reasons they plug the doctors into the fraud lord doctors are used. Because when a doctor says this person is in perfect health, the world bends to make that perfect health because it ties into a global connectivity network grid of hive, as you would. So April Fool's Day, yes, the crazy South, who had the most to lose, sitting in a very precarious predicament. It's going to be the misery loves company, miser. Because they would not spend 1 penny cent on me. Zero. I got to go out and earn hard, scratch, big, to prove the validity of the, or no, I've got to enforce the value of those that have succeeded in the system. It's really crazy. It's very, very strange, if you ask me. Their pride is literally betting their kids' future. Then, since they're healthy, they've got to sabotage the rest of the world which will then, it buys them a little bit of time. I guess they think, the only conclusion is they think this genetic engineering revolution will save them. That's the only thought, because they are giving away so damn much, and they don't care. That's why you do not let a sacred individual make a decision. They don't have a vested interest. Who cares? Yeah, they're concerned about their McMansion. Great. But by relegating me to this menial subservient status, I can literally affect millions of lives. But this one sacred individual McMansion has a better life than me, and I have to be envious of them, as empathetic to them being envious of my global options and power, which has been stolen. But the problem is, the reason I have this power is a vital mission to control sectors of the global value economy, which have been looted. So then the system takes hold. And the system is a chaos amalgamated complexity that is a very, very dangerous entity. But most people don't realize that because they are incapable, because literacy is deemed illegal, because you've got frauds in high-ranking power. So when you put a fraud way up in power who is incapable of literacy because they do not have the genetic structure, so they have to be totalitarian worship of the machine system itself. And then they feed directly upon me to make the machines and to fluctuate the variables of the equation. That's the motive, in my estimation. Theoretical, of course, to make me. And so, you've got these sacred, vain, sacred individuals. Oh, I'm so jealous. It has nothing to do with jealousy. It has me trying to manage millions of lives, and this one stupid fucking cow that I'm jealous of, that's mooning me, showing their fucking ass while the millions of lives, futures are gambled. That's how stupid this is. Full moon fever, WFMF. Yeah, so the corporations have gotten way too big out of control. I mean, not too big, but out of control. There was no balance in there, so there's no way to control them. The system will try to control them, but they really can't. It's very bizarre. And so they're just going to do the natural thing and keep on eating. The name of the game in the USA is accumulation consumption. Predatory consumption is validation because of the flaws in logic. So the only way they can make healthy to justify the flaws in the fraud logic is attack, attack, attack. Subversively, of course, that's why literacy is deemed illegal, to keep their camo sneaker attack. Yeah, you can't see the Star Wars that's going on. To me, I'm just interpreting because I have a vested stake, even though I am probably already dead. There are plots to kill me, and they have to make sure that they will kill me. They want me dead. Either a hostage slave or dead. Those are my options. Either you remain a slave in the zoo and supply the dope, or I die, and they've transferred my genetic power to somewhere else that they'll stay in the zoo and feed this machine, this magic juice that they're addicted to. They do not care about the global estate. Actually, they attack it because they want the global estate. Eventually, they're going to say, ha, 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 look at your hero here. And we destroyed him, and by you worshiping him, he destroyed your lives. If they would have turned to the machine and worshiped the machine, it might have saved it. So that's what they're trying to do. It's this A&M conversion to imminent. They want the rest of the blood world. A&M, A, agriculture, the blood land. M, the machine swarm herd. Man, men, lords and commons, bears and bulls, debits and credits, that sort of thing. So what they've done is they've double dipped here. Win-win loser, biggest loser on me because of these fraud loophole legalities. So then you've got the M&M, Mars, sweet, sweet, sweet because the machine can always, the machine worships the parts, the sacred individuals, because that's what gives it the power, the totality. So they're very, very sweet, but sweet is not always legal, unless you've got this deep little pocket to pick, which is me, Louisiana, Paris. Me being a, see, if there would have been other me's out there, other Louis or other saints, and they're playing it, these fucking assholes in Louisiana want me to do the dirty work, their dog, and fetch them. And then, if I succeed, then they'll swoop in, murder me, and steal the ship. Seriously, that's what they're planning. They're fucking idiots. They're just, they will not lift a finger. They're just sitting back. They're part of the party right now. They're sitting back, and me alone, Lone Star, is revenge because it's stupid, if you ask me. I got zero help. Got zero help in Savannah. So Savannah's gone all in to worship their machine gods. They're going to try to play side. They're playing dumb. They run and hide and play dumb and try to gag me and call me crazy and things like that because I'm a theoretician. My theories have good math, equational balance. So, the, Southern hospitality. Everybody matters but me. The bells in the boats joke. Yeah, right. Matters least. That's because they worship these genetic hacks. So they took my body, public. They put me in the public. First of all, I'm in the public, so the public shares there. Then they hacked me JV. That lowers me even lower. That wasn't low enough. They had to keep it lower and lower because they had to make sure they protected their steady flow of dope. Then hacked illegal. Then hacked Omega, then hacked illegal. So now, it's the Prince 1999 joke. 99.9% are above me. They're always trying to make me the lowest. They want to, they hate me so, they hate my options so much because they're addicted to me. And so they want to make me empathetic by hating the system or hating, they're going to teach me to, So, they're always trying to lower me lower and lower to make it harder for me to escape. They want to put more pressure on. The lower I go, the more people that are benefiting from my captivity, the harder it is to escape. So there's a whole bunch of layers above me that they are terrified of me escaping. It's absolutely terrifying because then they might have to pay. They've got a bunch of stolen VIP charge cards that they're living high on the hog, Miller High Life, living big time, and they don't want to pay anything. Right now, they double dip. They get to charge and they don't pay. That's a double dip. Stolen charge card is double dip. Win-win-lose. The loser pays. Free charge cards because I co-sign them. And it's like the Goodfellas, in that scene where the Bamboo Lounge, which is hilarious because it's BL, like Humble Oil, when they chop off my last name and they share it as the Matrix. So the Goodfellas is like, the Goodfellas Bamboo Lounge is like the Matrix brothers right now. They share, and they put me at the bottom, but they never pay anything and they don't manage to stay. The power comes from global partners. And they are trying to destroy the global partners because they want to solidify their position in this matrix rank hierarchy. So they just borrow and borrow and borrow, and it's like No Limit Master P, Cash Money Brothers. It's a deep, deep well. It's like a quarter. It's a huge, huge chunk of the world's monetary or currency valuation potential, and they outrank all the others. So what they've done is they've built a platform to where they outrank the rest of the world because they outrank me. So that's where it gets into losing my religion. Or either you worship the machine god that they worship, or and you go Eminem Mars, sweet dude, we're gonna steal your car, GTA. Where's my dude? Where's my car? For the Fraud Brothers. You know, they're not real blood brothers, like Better Than Ezra in the blood. It's HIV, me. They tapped into my blood, and they plug. It's a plug. There are millions and millions of plugs into my body somehow through these illegal scams that I am not able to unplug because I am handicapped and I am blacklisted and I am boycotted. So yeah, either you worship the M&M machines or you will drown and die. That makes them the masters, which is a crazy, stupid, delusional, psychotic, megalomaniac offer. It's the Godfather offer you can't refuse because they have so much leverage now. And the media is guilty. The media wants revolution, change. So the USA M&M Mars Sweet is better than math and science. Math and science is hard. See, the journalism, the Magic Inc. like to be creative. They're going to create their own dungeon, their own world. They're utopian. Create your own world. They think they can play it. So the media has decided we're going to be creationists. They got their Magic Inc., the Sigma Delta Chi Deadline Club Society of Professional Journalism, Indianapolis. Another one of those Indianapolis hacks. So they've got this pool of value, and they create this on their math and science variable loophole. And the values are derived from the global, but they're making the global system evolve to this. It's not really evolving, it's actually devolving because it will hurt them. They're at a disadvantage. There's quantitative systems and there's qualitative systems. The totalitarian, uniform, systematic, ideological healthcare does not like competition. So they are trying to destroy. The qualitative systems would be A&M. Quantitative would be M&M. So they want the A&M to convert to an M&M system. Mechanical and mechanical. Machines, everywhere machines. That way blood doesn't matter. It's Doctor Who, that revenge. It doesn't matter who you are because you've got millions and millions of frauds that outrank me and I outrank them theoretically based upon the necessity of managing the estate because of the past discrepancies and difficulties. That's why they did it. That's why Louisiana is supposed to be the balanced bridge. But they seized the bridge and then now using this to create an M&M Mars revolution. Sweet, dude. The sweet waters, sugar waters. There's the war between corn syrup, the war between sugar, the sugar bowl joke, and the war between artificial sweeteners. I get no sweet. I get just bitter, sour, horrible, nasty. Yeah, they want me to suffer. Sweet is pleasure. They want no pleasure. So they extract all the pleasures. I am literally a sugar well. Sweet crude, as you would. So they pull all the sweet from me, and I get nothing but the bitter, nasty pain, as you would. So it's sweet wars. Then all the sweet divides it. The corn syrup goes through Cornell. Sugar, because I rank low on the whole sugar bowl thing, and then the artificial sweetener. So I get no sweet at all, even though I eat sugar. They're playing, and they give me the damages. One of the things, amputated feet is a symptom of diabetes, and it is overload sugar. So because I am their slave, they chop off my feet. I give them the sugar for free. This is the ultimate deal of the century, win-win. So I give them all the sweet, give them all the sugar. Then, just like I do they make rum, or they make liquor, or they make beer, or whatever. I do this on many, many levels. This is the agony and the ecstasy filters, double dipping. Best of both worlds, from Van Halen to Miley Cyrus, Hannah Montana. They're playing the M&M Mars game. So I give them all the sweet, then I get the damages. They do not pay for their damage. That's, they're good fellas. They don't pay at all. So I give them all the sweet, and I get the damages. Wow, what a deal. That's a real good. They're addicted like slavery to this loophole, because if they had to pay, they would not be near as strong. They would actually they would show their true faces. So they're terrified of this. That is the problem. That is the double dipping magic variable equation. So yes, I get all the nasty, bitter pain and give out all the sweet pleasure fun. What a deal. That's why they love Jesus so much. It's a miracle to be sainted. All saints. It's that sort of bizarro conundrum. It really is illegal, first of all, illogical, and but they keep playing it. So yeah, and they always want it's really these sacred individuals have got to prove that their life is, and they have literally ruined my time. My life has been told decades, prime of my life, when I was the growing season, I was castrated and replaced with asexual, the fraud logic. So the entire growing season of my life, the prime of my life, was erased, and they replaced me with frauds. So now they've got this mass chaos of all these frauds, no balance, and I call them frauds because there's no balance at all. There's degree, and they refuse. Okay, let's say you've got 100% lasagna. You've got to cut off. They will not even negotiate. That's where you get the Prince 1999. But they want 100% solidarity. They want me to pay for everything. So rather than saying 50% are, there's shades of gray. The top levels, the Ivy League with the old blood Ivy League, they're safe. That's marble. That's jewels. That's diamonds. Things like that, all the way down. But I rank lower than the community colleges. I rank lower than everything and anything because I was horrifically mismanaged, even though I am powering millions and millions of lives plugged into me. These sacred livestocks do not power, they might have a small little network grid, a hotspot, a family, a hood, but I'm literally powering millions and millions of lives, theoretically. And so, what the problem is that I have to be jealous of these sacred individuals. Oh, it's pathetic. They want me to be, they want me to pay and suffer for what I could have had that was better than these sacred individuals. So by that, that's their motive. Literally, they're crazy. It's bourbon pride. Individual bourbon, suburban bourbons. That's why the U.S. is so drunk. If you look at the U.S., suburban bourbons, pride. Yeah, it's fat and it's grouped together, but the problem is they're not paying for their energy or their valuation system. It comes from the material girl hookers. They pay to get screwed. Literally, they're lubed and pay to get screwed. It's the deal of the century. But they will not. The funny part, the worst part about it is I get zero interest. And I'm talking about managing the state. So you got these sacred livestock out there who want me to be jealous of what they've got. So they got to lower me. It's really delusional, bizarre pride. Extreme, crazy. Just out of their mind, nuts. When you look at this, because it really is like the Goodfellas Bamboo Lounge. And now they've got the fire department. What I'm trying to do, I'm trying to cut off the charge cards. I want to say they will not let. There are wars against me to keep the stolen charge cards active. There are fire departments that I'm trying to light the match to burn down the place that is producing fake charge cards, and there are fire departments that will fight me to keep me from. They want to keep that Goodfella Bamboo Lounge flowing. No limit. You know, it's still got producing VIP goods. Nobody's paying. It's a weapon. It's a weapon. It's paying. You know, it's literally shifting the balance of power globally. So yeah, there's a war. I'm trying to cut off. That's what I'm trying to protect myself. Unplug all of these parasite plugs that pay nothing. That I not only do they pay nothing, that I have to be envious of their lives. Which great, I'm happy for you. Great, wonderful. Do what the fuck you want. You know, it's like it literally to me, it's like driving through a farm and seeing a bunch of fucking animals. That's how I feel. I could care less. Great. You know, they got a bunch of black and white cows out there chewing cud. Great. I can't eat any of them. I'm starving to death because these sacred parasites. Because if I eat one, I might get some muscle. And if I get some muscle, I might escape the Gulliver. It's like Gulliver. They've got me tied up. They want to keep me. They extract all the muscle by keeping. I'm paralyzed from malnutrition because every bite of food goes somewhere else. One of these parasites. Absolutely crazy. So yeah, the April Fools, lots of them. And so the big winner, it really is. It's like a contest. King of the Hill, or it's bizarre. The logic just doesn't make much sense at all. So, yeah, this might be my last report from this location. We'll have to see. Being transferred. I don't know if I don't think it's a conscious effort. I don't. I think there are just rigged scenarios where it's potluck or roll the dice sort of thing. Because I don't think it's conscious. I think I'm a known commodity, and there is gross negligent mismanagement by leaving me in this game so long because I keep paying out. They're on a heater. They're playing the pass line. Full Moon Fever is pass line, you know, and they never lose because I always lose. So yeah, April Fool's Day. Everything is the worst interpretation. It's like Bedazzled with Elizabeth Hurley or something like that. But it's just absolutely insane. Zero help at all. Strange. Zero help at all. Then they're trying to worship these rigged, stupid ranks. That's what they're worshiping, is lasagna. This pyramid scheme lasagna. That's why the dollar has a pyramid on the back of it. That's what they've done. But it's an inverted V. It's not a pyramid. It's a V on the bottom. So they got me on the bottom. Then on the top, it's kind of like a diamond or something like that. Jewels, the magic jewels, eagle jewels. I don't know, strange, really bizarre. But they will not allow me to unplug any of these things. And I am so damn low. It's just at my life. Okay, you win. You beat me. But the problem is, they want to my entire life till death. This is till death. Fight to the death. As empathetic to the doctor's disease, saving the sacred livestock. Crazy. So they're going to make me empathetic to terminal illness because of the sacred doctors that are protecting these sacred livestock that I am not allowed to eat. Nothing. They want to pay nothing. Absolutely zero. So I have to starve and suffer and plot. Yeah. So my life is. Literally, I could have had a great life. One of the greatest lives in the history of the world. But that's where Louisiana will be considered the biggest. I honestly think Louisiana will be considered the biggest fools, without a doubt. Because everybody knows they're bluffing. They do not hold any cards. They're really into this Jesus thing. Well, because they want to get paid off on the back end. Their Jesus thing is, we were the murderers. We're hitmen. We want to get paid off now. That's what they're expecting. So that's what they're counting on. But they're always going to be the runs of the SEC. Ag&XTC, they're going to be remembered as history, like Judas or Benedict Arnold traitors, because they did the wrong thing. Now, Georgia, they didn't play sides either. They could have played sides a lot better, but I might have escaped. So they bet on slavery. They bet on massive being a slave. And they're trying to spin it as reverence for all the oppressed slaves of the past and reverence for the global slavery, which is a stupid bet. When they could have easily played sides. This has gone on way too long, but they want to destroy my entire life because they want to trash the planet. Trash planet is healthcare for the USA. Trashing the planet will be the healthcare for the USA. They wanted the trashiest, the biggest complexity, big piles of heat trash is best case scenario. That's melting pot sort of scenario. So they've got to inflict the dominance on the world. Whereas that's a quantitative or qualitative. It's not even good quantitative. It's bad quantitative. There's degrees of quantitative and there's degrees of qualitative. And so what they've done is they've gone worst case scenario quantitative, and they do not even qualitative is literacy. They would have a balance between quantitative and qualitative, agriculture, machines, sort of things. But they want worst case scenario, so it's illegal to even speak of qualitative these days. It's bizarre. That's not very sweet. So yeah, it's fake sugars, aspartame is really what it is. It's really NutraSweet. That's what the world is. There's corn syrup is fake sugar these days. NutraSweet because it ties into the fraternity of Cornell, who is not. It's not real. Not to mention, if they had built a proper structure, it could be real, but they were greedy and they did not want to bet on losing control of the power, and so they went with it illegal. So it's really NutraSweet. It's all artificial. That's artificial being creations. These ink creators ties into Sigma Delta Chi, Society of Professional Journalism's Deadline Club. So it's NutraSweet, artificial sweet. There are degrees of real sweet, but they're being attacked. So the artificial sweetener is attacking the real sweet, real sugar, and then there's literally the sugar wars are what's going on. And I get the bitter nasty. I get no sweet at all because they want to max their profits. Really bizarre. So that'll be about it for today.